guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a great day. I'm here with some of my acrylic inks. I've got some kind of fun bright colors, spritzer of water, some alcohol to play with, and I'm going to make some tags today. So I want to start off with a very flowy, loose background. So I'm going to spray some water and then add some inks. I'm going to do the front and the back so that it kind of lays flat, but I'm not adding a crazy amount of water. And then I'm going to start lightest. I have this lemon yellow and I'll start with this. And I'm just going to go around and add some color. Might need to add a little bit more water. I'm going to grab my other spritzer. There we go. Huh, I had a little blue. I don't know how that got there. Oh well. All right. Next up is Amsterdam ink. This is Azo Yellow Deep. And then I have Emerald Green, but first I'm going to get around these edges. There we go. I'm going to add just a little bit of green. Not too much. I want to keep this kind of light because I think I want to stamp over it too. And so we'll just go with that, a couple little spots. And then I'm going to add some red. This is Scarlet. It's a warm red, so it'll go really nicely with these other oranges. All right. Now the only thing I want to make sure I do is that I get color everywhere. So I'm going to make sure I get around my edges. And then I'm going to let gravity kind of work for me a little bit here and let it flow. Just like that. And then I'm going to come in with some alcohol, just like that. How I like to say. All right. Now I have a pretty wet piece of paper here. I think what I'm going to try to do as an experiment is lay one right down on top of it and sop up some of this color, almost like a second print. I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I just thought of it, but I'm going to let it sit here for a minute and soak up some color, and we'll see what we've got. Ooh, that's kind of cool actually. I think I like that. I'm going to shake off the excess here, and we've got our first print, or actually our second print, and our first print is here. Now I'm going to let this flow down a bit more. Well, just like that. So I've got some of my excess water and ink kind of wiped up. I'm going to go back in with the alcohol here since I kind of did that smush. It looks like I didn't put any on. So I'm going to add a few more alcohol splashes here while it's still wet. And then we can let everything dry. This will just give us some extra texture. And we like texture. All right. We'll be back. All right, I am back and I wanted to do an experiment. I am going to alcohol ink spray these through a stencil, but first, this one is completely dry. This was actually the one that I pressed on, and I love how it turned out. That's so cool. This one is maybe like 80% dry. It is still cool and slightly damp to the touch in some places, and I want to see how the spraying through the stencil works. So I have a stencil here that is bigger than my sheet, and I'm just going to lay it on top, and I grab some of my red homemade alcohol ink. What I'm going to do is spray this through the stencil and see if it does any spreading or anything like that, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the dry one and compare them. So I'm just going to lift this, and you see that slight pattern there that's really cool. So I'm going to move this out of the way and then do the same thing with this dry one. And I like using the big stencil here because it will really help kind of cover the whole page so I can get an even pattern. They kind of look similar. This one's damp, this one's dry, but they both take the pattern really well. I'm going to finish letting both of them dry completely, and then I'll be back for more. All right, next I'm going to do some stamping. These two are dry. I went to Michael's about a week ago before filming this, and I got these two things on clearance. This seagrass ink was on clearance, I think for $3, and these were $2. So I thought it would be fun to see how this green shows up on this bright background, because I've never used this ink pad before. So let's give it a try. And I'm not going to break out the block. I'm just going to use my hand just to keep it simple. And these are Recollections silicone stamps. And I'm just going to grab this top one. And I'm going to kind of grab it in my hands like this. Seems to pick up ink. Let's see how it goes down. It doesn't show up a ton, but it's over green. So let's try it over here. Ooh. Oh, I like that. You know what? I do need to get my block. All right. It doesn't pay to be lazy. Sometimes it does. Okay. Now I actually can use this. Oh. That really shows up nice. It does not want to go down over. There we go. It's over the green a little bit. I really like this color. It's pretty. Okay, I think that's stamped up probably enough. I guess I'm just putting it everywhere. Okay, let's do some stamps on this one. I'm going to try to get an even coat. I'm going to go slightly over the corner so it goes off the page. Okay, that works. All right, we've got two pretty cool backgrounds. I think next I'm going to do just a little bit of doodling. Now bear with me, this might seem crazy. Actually, I'm going to bring my little tray back. on one of these, I'm going to break out the big posca. And I'm just going to do some marks. Just like that. All right, I got the white posca for this one. I think I'm just going to do some white leaves. Okay, I've got a nice little white leaf motif on there. I think on this one, I'm just going to do some white circles. I love these so far. They are so fun looking. Okay, so I've got these done. I'm going to pull out my paper cutter here. And I'm going to do 2 different sizes. And also for the cutting of the tags, I've got a couple different tools here. Depending on what you have, you can really use anything. I have one where you can put the tag end in and it'll put a hole and a little bit of scalloping on the edge. I got a plain hole punch, and I also have a little corner punch. So you can do rounded corners. All of these you can do with scissors or whatever you have on hand. But I grabbed a few things. So these papers are 6 inches by 9 inches. So for one of them, I am going to do 2 inches wide by 4.5 inches long. So that will give me 6 tags from one sheet. And then for the other one, I'm going to do 1.5 inches wide and then 3 inches long. All right, so this one's going to be the 4.5 inches long. So I'm just going to line this up, get it cut. And then these will be 2 inches. Okay, this one we're going to do 1.5 inches. Okay, so we've got 12 tags of the 1.5 by 3 inches, and we have 6 tags of the 2 by 4 inches. So we have 18 tags all together, different sizes, and I think they all look really cool. So here's what we can do. I'm going to punch some in my punch. So I'm going to start with these 2 by 4.5s, and this punch, basically you can slide it in, and it has like these little like mold things. You slide it in. It takes some elbow grease to punch, but then you get the really cool little tag, and it's all set, ready to go. All right, so we've got all 6 of these punched, and I think they look fantastic. Now you could also round your bottom corners. I'm going to use the narrow one, and it'll just do a quick little rounded corner just to finish it off. And these are just really quick. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see these lovely tags. And I love these, the scallop tops. Now I'm going to show you a couple of the other ones. So this punch will do 1.5, 2, and 2.5 inches wide. So since these are 1.5, they will fit in that smaller slot. Now these are shorter, so it's going to go kind of all the way in. And it will do a fun little tag. I think I got that a little bit off when I put it in. Let's try another one. There we go. That's much better. I don't know what I did there, but we'll just play with that one anyway. Okay, so you can also round off the corners on these. And they look great. That one doesn't really look great. But they're just really cute homemade tags. Now, if you don't want to do that, you could just round out all the corners. I like a round corner. It's kind of grown on me, but it is, you know, extra work. But you can also just use a regular hole punch and punch your hole right in the center so you have a rectangular tag. And you don't have to round corners at all. I like it. These are pretty reasonable. I think I got mine at Hobby Lobby. And it's really easy to use. You can also, it has 3 different corner styles. So like this one's a bit of a wider corner. And so you can see it is much more curvy. Let me show you the difference. So you can see the sort of radius is much wider. But they're both pretty. And they also have like a really wide radius. That is this one here. And it does a really rounded corner. Like that. All right, there we have it. 18 homemade mixed media tags. And you could go further, kind of shade around the outside of these, add some more contrast. You could write on them, stamp on them some more. You could use them to create some other embellishments or just put them on some gifts and give them away. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Maybe it gave you a couple of ideas on things you can do. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep creating.